My name is Jasmine Dunn. I go to the University of West Georgia, and today I'm going to be presenting my speech. First, let's get a scan of my audience. That is Andre, that is Jarvis, that is Christian, that is Janiyah, and that is Janice. All right, have any one of you ever been in the hospital before? If so, then you have been seen by a nurse. I'm pretty sure in that moment you was thinking, oh, I just want to see a doctor. I mean, why wouldn't you? After all, they do have a medical degree. But nurses are just as important. By the end of my speech, you will all believe that nurses are a greater value for their patients. I believe that nurses have the most significant role in a hospital setting. Nurses are the main reason for you living, and they have been the backbone for healthcare and medicine since 1860. Many believe that nurses are just employees that does the scrub work, and that they are not important. I want people to see that nurses are the real reason for the success of healthcare and medicine. They do more work in a healthcare setting than any other profession. There are three components that contribute to why nurses are very important. Number one, they are trustworthy. Number two, they are more than a caregiver. And number three, they are needed outside hospitals. First, I'll explain why they are so trusted by their patients. Number one, they spend most of their time with the patients. When you go to a hospital, most of your time is spent with a nurse. You probably see the doctor once or twice, but the nurse is always there to make sure you are comfortable, to make sure your questions are answered, to make sure your vital signs are stable, and that you're comfortable during your whole stay. During this time you spend with the nurse, you build a bond. The bond becomes strong because how honest the nurse is. Here is a graphic organizer that shows the rates of honest and ethical standards of people in these fields. As you can see, nurses is 85% at the top of the list. Pharmacists is 64%. Medical doctors are 63%. Lawyers are 21%, and members of Congress is 8%. And that graphic organizer comes from the Pharmacy Times website. Nurses show how much they care in ways other health professionals do not. They see about their patients' well-being, their mental feelings, and they're there for support during the hard times. Here are some quotes from nurses and patients. Sometimes I inspire my patients. More often, they inspire me. That is from a nurse. The second quote is also from a nurse, and it's one of my favorites. Care for one, that's love. Care for hundreds, that's nursing. The third quote is from a patient. Nurses are amazing, personable, caring, alert, warm, professional, friendly, and very considerate. And the fourth quote is also from a patient. Every nurse was fantastic and there to help me within a minute of my request. I have never experienced such care and alert while being hospitalized. These quotes are from the St. Joseph Health website. Now that you see why nurses are trustworthy, we can go into some of the specific roles they play that help make them superheroes. They are much more than caregivers. They are friends. They are educators. They are life changers. They are health coaches. They are navigators, midwives, and writers. And here is a graphic organizer of other roles nurses play. And this is from theworldpress.com. As you can see, they're care providers, as I said before. They're researchers. They're leaders. They're collaborators. They're managers. They're advocators. And they're educators. They provide hands-on care to patients by administering medications, managing intravenous lines, observing and monitoring patients' conditions, maintaining records, and communicating with doctors. Now that you have some knowledge on the nursing roles in the hospital, we can now talk about how they are needed outside the hospital. Nurses work in more than just a hospital. The growth for nursing is increasing every year because they are needed in more areas. For instance, they are needed in schools, clinics, they are needed outside countries, so they travel. They are needed in businesses and health centers. The Daily Nurse website says that the projected 10-year growth is by 16% for nurses, which is faster than normal. This introduces 37,000 new positions for future nurses. Now let's review what we have covered for the importance of nursing. Nurses are the most trusted profession. Nurses are more than just caregivers. They are superheroes. Nurses are needed outside hospitals. They are needed around the world. After this, I hope you all look at a nurse different the next time you encounter one. I hope you all can see them as powerful heroes who have the most significant role in a hospital setting. Thank you for your time.